What's going on, guys? Welcome back to hashtag GSM4GM Season 3, Episode 62 here in WWE 2K24 MyGM Mode. I'm Graham GSM Matthews. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be watching today's show, tonight's main event, a Tag Team Extreme Rules match. The women taking center stage with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, taking on two common enemies in Liv Morgan and Cora Jade. More so Becky's enemies than Bianca's, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. We are actually opening the show. We're going to be watching that, but we're opening the show with LA Knight against Mankind, a feud that's been building for a while now. LA Knight lost to Mankind in Mankind's SmackDown in-ring debut about a month ago as part of the Intercontinental Championship tournament in the first round. Mankind went all the way to the finals and lost to Rey Mysterio. So, LA Knight looking for vengeance. He wants his win back against Mankind. He cannot properly move on until he takes on Mankind. CM Punk will address the audience following his loss to Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell, his first appearance on the Blue Brain since then. Beth Phoenix in action in her hometown of Buffalo tonight against Billy Slugger. Rhea Ripley is back and will help Beth Phoenix win that matchup. So I actually fixed that match for Beth to win, just because it would be fucking stupid for her to suffer her first loss to Billy Slugger, of all people, in her hometown, in Beth's hometown. So Beth will be winning that one, spoiler alert. Alexa Bliss back here on SmackDown. She wants her first match to be with Cora Jade, who beat Billy Slugger on last week's show. Rey Mysterio will be battling Solo Sikoa in non-title action. Solo's been on his, Rey Mysterio's ass for a couple of weeks now, and he wants a piece of the new Intercontinental Champion, Gunther, sitting in on commentary. Randy Orton is not done with Solo Sikoa in the Bloodline. If he wants to take out Roman Reigns, he first has to target. He first has to call out Solo Sikoa. Before he can get to Roman, he wants Solo. And then in the main event, Becky Lynch and Bianca taking on Liv and Cora, like you mentioned earlier, in an Extreme Rules tag team match. Looking forward to that one. We just hired a whole bunch of new people. Shawn Michaels being one of them. He's going to be debuting soon here on SmackDown. Rhea Ripley's back. I'm excited. I don't know if Mankind's here to stay. So that's why I'm hiring new people. We'll see who's here to stay, who's leaving. I don't know. Beth might not be here forever. I don't know. We'll see in due time. We also got a bunch more money because Roman Reigns did that movie. But we're good to go. We can get right into it. Buffalo, New York, like I said earlier. Confirm booking. Watching the main event, like I said. All right. Can LA Knight bounce back with a win against Mankind, or will Mankind make it 2-0 against the former WWE champion? We're not watching it. We're simulating. 1, 2, 3. Mankind beats LA Knight again. A second straight win over the former WWE champion. Very impressive. CM Punk popularity of 2 points. Obviously simulate this match. Beth Phoenix wins, beating Billy Slugger. Rhea Ripley is back. And she will face Billy Slugger on next week's show in her in-ring return. New feud between those two. Rey Mysterio and Solo Sikoa in non-title action. Rey Mysterio wins. All right. I was going to say I was kind of hoping Solo would win. Not to earn him an opportunity at the title, but more so to kind of explain why Gunther would cost Rey the win. But we could say he beat Solo, and then Gunther attacks Rey afterward because he wants the next shot. Like I've said before, Gunther, I think, has been the only person to beat Rey Mysterio one-on-one here on SmackDown. In the few months that Rey's been on SmackDown, Gunther's the only person to pin Rey in a singles match. Mankind beat him in a tag match, but one-on-one, Gunther's the only one. Randy calls out Solo. Weak promo. Interesting. And now we watch our main event, Becky and Bianca versus Liv and Cora. So I think that'll be it for the Becky-Liv feud. Liv actually beat Bianca, or rather Becky, on last week's show, because Becky beat Liv at the pay-per-view, and she'd been beating her pretty decisively heading on into Hell in a Cell. Becky beat her there. No interference from anyone. Last week, it was a rematch. Bianca came on out to kind of even the odds a little bit with Cora Jade being in Liv's corner, because Cora was there for that one. Cora was in her corner at the pay-per-view as well. We can skip this scene. But Bianca looked to even the odds, and Becky's like, listen, I took out Liv on my own to the pay-per-view. Why would I need your help now? And Bianca accidentally attacked Becky, and they have some tension now. And Becky has yet to regain the WWE Women's Championship as a result. Let's get on into it here.
Each superstar is going to be doing their best to
we've already found out that Bianca and Becky will meet in a #1 contenders match at Fastlane in a WrestleMania rematch. We have not seen Becky and Bianca one-on-one at all. They've only had one match here in WWE on SmackDown. That was at WrestleMania a few years back, 2 years ago. Becky beating Bianca to retain the WWE Women's Championship. And as I've said many, many times, Bianca, or Becky then, was not drafted back by SmackDown. She got hurt, what have you. She had to vacate the championship. She comes back to SmackDown just over a year later. Tegan Nox was the thorn in her side, preventing her from getting the belt back. She ultimately eliminated that threat at WrestleMania. Because she got a rematch for the championship last year. Oh my God, great move there from Bianca, but she missed Liv on the outside. Bianca, or rather Becky, did get a rematch for the belt. And after jumping through hoops and winning various contenders matches, she faced Roxanne, but it was Tegan who cost her the title, because Tegan said, as long as you can't beat me, as long as we coexist on the same playing field here, you will never be champion. So Becky beat Tegan at WrestleMania, sending Tegan packing from SmackDown, rather, and in real life, because she got fired in real life recently, but that's besides the point, unfortunately. What was I going to say? So yeah, Becky went back on her path to becoming champion, and then it was Liv Morgan who got in her way and cost Becky the belt at Backlash against Bayley. Becky had the title shot at Backlash, she became #1 contender, and then she lost to Bayley after interference from Liv, who was upset that Becky injured Cora on the SmackDown Before Extreme Rules. Becky takes out Liv at Hell in the Cell, and then they had a rematch on SmackDown last week, and Liv actually ended up beating Becky Lynch. And they're from Bianca in just a 2 count. It is an Extreme Rules match. Pins count anywhere, I believe. Bianca looking to take out Liv. Becky focusing on Cora, the same woman that she injured a few weeks back. Cora coming off that win over Billy Slugger on last week's SmackDown. She's got her hands full, as of late with Becky Lynch and Billy Slugger. Next week, Alexa Bliss. Returning Alexa Bliss is also looking to throw her name into the hat of potential contenders for the WWE Women's Championship. As for Bianca, she's been kind of lost in the sauce here, but, she lost to Becky and failed to become champion at Mania years ago. But when Becky was gone, she was the champion. She did beat Roxanne Perez to become the WWE Women's Champion last year. Quickly lost the belt back to Roxanne, though, and has yet to get the belt back. She lost in the TLC match. Manhandle slam there from Cora to Becky, stealing the page out of Becky's book. Bianca breaking up the pinfall. And Bianca had her hands full recently. She actually did feud with Cora Jade about a year ago. They had a feud of their own, and she disposed of Cora, and they had a series of very good matches, actually. Bianca beat her in an Extreme Rules match about a year ago, or 2 years ago, whenever it was. Nice close down there to Liv. But just recently, she had her hands full with Ronda Rousey, who she beat 3 straight times, including that I Quit submission match at Hell in the Cell. And Ronda Rousey no longer a member of the SmackDown roster. She quit, so she's gone. They can't get on Cora because of the trash can away. Cora focusing on Becky. Great suplex there from Becky to Cora. Bianca with a neck breaker on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's, Becky going for her finisher. Bianca looking to lay out Liv instead. She hits the KOD, too, and Cora breaks it up. Becky going for Cora, and she missed, actually, on the outside. She probably would have had the match won. The dropkick and missed that one as well. Some miscommunication here between Bianca and Becky. And remember, they were actually initially supposed to meet and rematch at a #1 contenders match on SmackDown shortly after Mania. That was supposed to be their Mania rematch 2 years later. And Rhea Ripley returned, got involved. Becky pinned Rhea in that matchup. Become #1 contender, which led to her losing to Bayley at Backlash due to interference from Liv, like I mentioned previously. So Bayley's also busy right now with Beth Phoenix. Rhea Ripley beat Bayley twice to become champion. couple of years back. And Bayley was never able to beat Bayley was never able to beat Rhea Ripley, rather. She was kind of like her Achilles heel. She was her kryptonite. And Bayley, it took her a long time to kind of work her way back to championship contention before finally becoming champion again at Mania this past year, beating Roxanne Perez, who had been champion for a long time. Oh, nice diving crossbody there from Becky Lynch on Liv on the outside.
Exhibiting guts and accuracy as well.
So then Rhea Ripley kind of coming back, looking to rekindle her rivalry with Bayley, who was now champion again. Got injured and sent in Beth Phoenix in her place, who then disposed of Bayley twice. She is also now 2-0 against Bayley.
Absolutely no telling what's
including in her debut and at the Hell in a Cell show. She beat her to become WWE Champion, WWE Women's Champion. So a lot of stuff going on right now in the women's division on SmackDown. We're cooking. We got a lot of shit going on. I love that. A lot of intermingling rivalries if you've been following the show for a while here. The disarmer on Liv Morgan. Becky Lynch got it locked in, and Bianca's got a submission of her own on Cora as she focuses in on the knee.
Kept on wrenching. Why show mercy now?
Becky Lynch looking to throw Liv back into the ring. She's got the trash can. Boom! Just throwing the trash can. Holy shit. 1, 2. Kick out at 2 from Liv. Honestly, we could have made this for the vacant WWE Women's Tag Team titles. We very well could have, probably should have. Dropping the arm there, dropping the elbow. Becky misses. Liv looking to capitalize, just chucking Becky right into the trash can while Cora takes the table from outside of the ring, underneath the ring. Throwing the trash can at Becky, holy shit. Double arm DDT from Cora to Bianca. I think she has to get her in the ring though to pin her, if I'm not mistaken. Great knee, oh, facebuster. Liv pins Becky, and she's looking to do it again, and she is not able to put her away. She's setting her up for something. Boom! Beautiful facebuster. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan does it again. A big win for Liv. More miscommunication between Bianca and Becky cost them the win. Leading to Liv and Cora Jade picking up the victory, putting that rivalry to rest. With Liv Morgan again decisively defeating Becky Lynch. Big win for Cora and Liv Morgan here tonight. Alright. Classic match. Interesting. Oh, shit. Honestly, may have... Oh, I was going to say we should have headlined with that, but we did. Indeed, we did. Continue. We don't give a fuck about Raw. Nia Jackson Lita, not bad, though. Cody Rhodes and Braun Breaker, also not bad. So we didn't have an overly strong show, but our third match was good. The 3-star match and the main event was great. Higher than anything else in any brand this week. Made $108,000. Not bad as well. Not bad. Not bad at all. Boom, 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 boom. All right, still comfortably on top, at least until Raw and NXT get their shit together. And they have way more fans than we do, but we've been killing the trophy game, which is great. Mankind says, hey, William, my time at SmackDown comes to an end this week. I'd love to stay at SmackDown for another 5 weeks. We have to keep him around because he just beat LA Knight twice, and he can't just disappear. I know we've done that with certain people before. We got to give him what he's asking here. I don't want to extend him to the end of the season because I don't know if I want him for that long. I want him for at least another 5 weeks. Preferably 3, but, 5, if that's the minimum, that's fine. Because he's got to finish the feud with LA Knight. Mick Foley says, hey, what was that stunt you just pulled? Had to be done. You would have done the same thing in my position. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Liv says, I'm clearly the best superstar at SmackDown, and I imagine the crowd might be getting bored of seeing me win so easily every week. I need a bigger test, one that suits my superior skills. I want to go up against both Bliss and Billy this week. Interesting. And I don't mean in a tag match. I want a triple threat or a fatal four-way match against them. So I was going to do Cora, Bliss, Billy, Bliss. Okay, so Billy's busy this week. Does she want it this week? Yeah, she does. That's just not in my plans. Liv, Bliss, and Billy. She wants them both. I'm going to say no. Can't do it. Small decrease. It is what it is. Rhea says, I haven't had any matches in a while. That's because you just fucking came back, Rhea. And the fans are starting to forget about me. It's time that you woke up and put me back where I belong. I want a match in the next show. That is going to happen. She's facing Billy this week. Yes. All right, cool. Cool. Thanks. It can do a lot for us, a lot for this brand if you give me some exposure. All right, so let's book that. I already had that penciled in here in my notes. We have a pretty big roster, which is great. Yeah, that is Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is coming in. That's going to be the third match, actually. It's going to be Rhea. Where's Rhea? Rhea versus Billy. Beth going after Billy. We're going to do Alexa Bliss versus Cora Jade with a run-in from Liv Morgan. They're riding high right now. Also this week, we're going to have Becky Lynch call out Bianca Belair. After what happened last week. Sheamus. Well, let's see. So I had, we'll have Sheamus call out Punk. I kind of had my notes. In my notes, it was a bit different. Sheamus calls out Punk for being a weakling. You lost the WWE title. You lost inside the cell. You clearly don't have it anymore, buddy. And Sheamus is coming off of 3 wins over Trick Williams. We can have Solo Sikoa. Call out Randy Orton. Alright, so I'm just got to adjust my notes here. Alright, Solo calls out Randy. So that is that. That is everything I booked for the show. Punk's free. We're not going to use Punk. We're not using Michaels yet. Mankind is free. What do we do? I'm thinking, by the way, on next week's show, because next week's the go home. Next week is not the pay-per-view. I'm thinking about doing Night in Mankind. Health spa, match physio. All right. I'm thinking about doing Night in Mankind in a casket match. We haven't done one since Uncle Howdy and Bray. But I feel like that would be a fitting end of the feud between Night and Mankind. And Night might be gone from SmackDown after that, but I just feel like that would be a fitting end of the feud if we did it like that. So maybe we do Mankind in the opener here with Trick Williams. Interference from Knight, who's clearly not done with Mankind. Cool. And then we have our main event. So Bayley's free. We haven't seen Bayley since she lost the championship at the pay-per-view. And she'll be back next week. So Bayley, no. Bianca, no. Punk, no. Gunther and Orton would be a nice match. Kind of like that. Let's do that as the main event. First time ever here on SmackDown. Randy Orton and Gunther. The Rey Mysterio going after Gunther. He sat in on his match last week. Rey Mysterio is going to sit on his match this week. I like that a lot, actually. Very good main event. Orton and Gunther following the tag team match from a couple of weeks ago, where Solo got pinned by Orton, but Gunther was Solo's partner. We could see if Gunther can bounce back with a win here tonight. So that's the show for next week. Mankind goes 1-on-1 with Trick Williams, with LA Knight getting involved. Becky calls out Bianca before their #1 contenders match at Fastlane. Sheamus calls out Punk, calls him a weakling, and says that he wants him 1-on-1 at Fastlane. Alexa Bliss makes her in-ring return here on SmackDown against Cora Jade, who is riding high following her 2 consecutive wins here on SmackDown. Rhea Ripley also returns to action here on SmackDown against Billy Slugger. Solo Sikoa calls out Randy Orton. Says, you want a piece of the bloodline at Fastlane? Well, you fucking got it, pal. And then in the main event, Randy Orton goes one-on-one with Gunther for the first time ever here on SmackDown, with Rey Mysterio sitting in on commentary. So that's the show. And I think what we're going to do in the main event next week, it's going to be LA Knight and Mankind. Not of the pay-per-view, because we have a pretty full card. We're doing Punk Sheamus. We're doing Mysterio Gunther for the IC title. I mean, I guess we could save that for the pay-per-view. I guess we'll see. I'm thinking we just do Knight and Mankind as the main event of SmackDown. Knight and Gunther doesn't have to be at the pay-per-view, because that's just kind of getting started. But I kind of like Knight and Mankind taking center stage on SmackDown next week, because we've really done it all with that feud, so I'm ready to move on from it, if that makes sense. And we've done all the promos and all that other shit, so we'll probably just do that next week here on SmackDown. But the pay-per-view is probably going to be Punk and Sheamus, Mysterio Gunther for the IC title, a number 1 contenders match between Bianca and Becky, Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa, and then Beth Phoenix versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. I have that slated as the main event. I might change that. I'll probably change that. I have that with a Stipperooski. Well, maybe we could do Knight and Mankind as the main event. I don't know. Maybe we have that main event instead. I got to work things out. We'll see. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. Have a great one, and I'll catch your ass down the road.